Have you ever stopped to wonder why certain words, small and simple as they may seem, can hold the power to captivate someone's heart so deeply that they can't stop thinking about you? It's not magic or luck. It's the invisible force of language shaping emotions, carving pathways in the mind that spark desire and connection. When you speak to a woman, your words don't just pass through the air. They land inside her soul, awakening parts of her that crave to feel seen, cherished, and uniquely understood. This is the key. Words can be weapons, shields, or bridges, and nicknames in particular have a hidden power to unlock intimacy in ways few other things can. But not just any nicknames. The ones you think are forbidden, the ones that break the ordinary rules of attraction, carry a magnetic energy that pulls her closer, stirring feelings so intense they become an obsession. Imagine being the man who doesn't just call her by her name, but by a word that feels like a secret between the two of you. A word that wraps around her like a warm, unspoken promise. That kind of connection can shift everything. It awakens her subconscious mind to associate you with safety, excitement, mystery, and desire all at once. That's the emotional reward waiting for you if you learn to wield these forbidden nicknames with intention and confidence. You're not just learning to say words differently, you're learning to speak directly to the deepest parts of her heart and mind. And that is what fuels obsession. A feeling so strong it leaves her thinking about you long after you're gone. The truth is, attraction isn't just about looks, status, or chance encounters. It's about the subtle signals you send, the feelings you invoke, and the emotional imprints you leave behind. Every nickname you use can become a symbol loaded with meaning, a small but mighty tool that shows her she is special and that you are different from every other man she's known. These nicknames go beyond cute or casual. They reach into the realm of the forbidden, tapping into primal instincts that crave novelty, exclusivity, and emotional depth. When you choose these words carefully, when you attach them to genuine feelings and actions, you become unforgettable. You become the man she can't help but want, the one she obsesses over quietly and passionately. But it takes more than just memorizing a list. It takes understanding why these names work, when to use them, and how to make them feel authentic. You have to build an emotional foundation that supports the power of these words, a foundation built on trust, confidence, and real connection. When you combine that with the right nicknames, you don't just attract her attention, you capture her heart and mind in a way that feels electric and unbreakable. This is not about manipulation. It's about learning to communicate in a language that stirs the soul, a language that most men don't even know exists. If you stay with me, I will reveal the 5 forbidden nicknames that can transform the way she sees you, the way she feels about you, and the way she thinks about you long after you leave the room. These are the names that create emotional fire, that build a bond so deep it borders on obsession. And as you learn them, you'll also learn how to become the kind of man worthy of such devotion, confident, mysterious, protective, and unforgettable. This is your chance to step beyond the ordinary and discover the language of love that commands attention and desire in its purest form. Are you ready to unlock this power? There is something undeniably magnetic about what's forbidden. When a word or name carries the weight of taboo, it sparks a thrill deep within the human psyche, a rush that awakens curiosity, excitement, and desire. Forbidden nicknames don't simply label a woman. They break the mold of ordinary affection and challenge the rules of connection. This challenge ignites a fire she didn't know she needed, pulling her in with an invisible force that's impossible to resist. It's in the nature of the mind to seek out what feels rare, hidden, and exclusive. When you give her a nickname that feels forbidden, you become the gatekeeper of something precious and elusive, something only she is allowed to possess. This exclusivity triggers a powerful psychological response. Scarcity breeds obsession. What makes something forbidden so compelling isn't just the thrill of breaking social norms, but the promise of intimacy wrapped in secrecy. It speaks directly to her subconscious, whispering that your bond is different, stronger, and more meaningful than anything she's experienced before. This is the emotional currency that few men understand how to create. Yet it's what separates fleeting attraction from deep, unshakable fixation. The right forbidden nickname acts like a key, unlocking hidden chambers in her heart and mind, where passion, trust, and intrigue collide. It plants seeds of longing that grow into an intense desire to be closer to you, to understand you, and to protect what you share together. This craving isn't born from manipulation, but from a profound psychological truth. Humans crave connection that feels rare and authentic. When you offer a forbidden nickname, you give her a secret language, a private universe where only the two of you belong. This shared secret builds an emotional fortress, making her feel safe, cherished, and uniquely valued. The mind is wired to latch onto symbols of belonging, and forbidden nicknames become those symbols. She begins to associate you with something extraordinary, something worth guarding fiercely. That feeling sparks obsession because it taps into the primal need to protect and possess what is truly special. The power of forbidden nicknames also lies in their ability to disrupt the predictable patterns of everyday interaction. When everything feels familiar and safe, the brain's dopamine response, the chemical of reward and motivation, starts to dull. But introducing something unexpected and forbidden jolts her system, increasing dopamine and adrenaline. This chemical cocktail heightens her attention and emotional investment in you. She doesn't just hear the nickname, she feels it reverberate through her body, awakening desire and curiosity. This is how obsession takes root, through repeated emotional peaks triggered by your words and presence. To harness this power, you must embody the essence behind the nickname. A forbidden nickname only carries weight if you live up to the image it creates. You must be confident enough to break conventions, strong enough to protect her, mysterious enough to keep her intrigued, and genuine enough to earn her trust. When your words align with your actions, the nickname transforms from a mere label into a powerful symbol of connection and desire. This alignment fuels her obsession because it signals authenticity, something her mind and heart crave deeply. Choosing to use forbidden nicknames is a bold act of emotional leadership. It shows that you understand the subtle forces of attraction and are willing to step beyond comfort to create something unforgettable. This is how you become the man she can't stop thinking about. The man who holds a secret place in her heart, reserved for no one else. The journey to that place begins with understanding why these forbidden words work and how to wield them with intention, confidence, and care. There is a profound truth that many overlook. Words alone cannot create obsession unless they are backed by genuine feeling and consistent behavior. A forbidden nickname carries power because it symbolizes more than just a sound. It represents the role you play in her life. One of the most magnetic roles a man can embody is that of a protector. Not in a controlling or possessive way, but as a silent guardian who offers safety without demanding control. When a woman senses this unwavering strength beneath your words, her mind relaxes into trust. Trust is the foundation upon which obsession is built. It is the quiet certainty that she can lean on you when the world feels uncertain, that your presence is a shield against chaos. This feeling, this deep emotional safety, activates primal instincts in her brain, sparking a fierce attachment she cannot easily shake. To wield the power of a protector's nickname, you must first cultivate this strength within yourself. Protection is not about domination or possession. It's about responsibility and care. It means standing firm in your values, being emotionally available, and acting with integrity. When your actions align with these principles, your words carry weight and meaning. Saying a nickname that implies protection is meaningless if you don't live it daily. But when you do, that name becomes a beacon of security that she clings to instinctively. This is where language becomes a powerful tool. It's no longer just sound, but a promise silently understood and deeply felt. Your nickname then becomes a symbol of the safe harbor she craves, a place where vulnerability is welcomed and fears dissolve. There's something deeply attractive about a man who balances strength with silence, who guards without overwhelming. This dynamic creates a magnetic tension, a pull between dependence and independence that keeps her emotionally engaged. Her mind begins to associate you with stability, but also with freedom. This balance is rare and precious, and the nickname that captures it becomes a secret treasure in her heart. It's a reminder that she is protected, yet free to be herself, wild and untamed. This tension, held in a single word, can stir emotions so profound that they become the roots of obsession. Understanding this dynamic shifts the way you view your connection. You are not merely giving a nickname, you are defining your role in her life. You become the silent strength she can count on, the man who stands firm when everything else wavers. This realization demands courage to embody strength without arrogance, to show up consistently, and to honor the unspoken contract your nickname represents. When you accept this responsibility, your presence gains an irresistible gravity. She feels it in her bones, your steady pulse beneath the chaos of the world. The protector's nickname is a call to embody your highest self. It challenges you to be unwavering, to show up as the man who is both a refuge and a force. When you do, her mind locks onto you with a hunger that words alone cannot explain. It is a hunger born from the deep human need for safety, trust, and belonging. This hunger grows stronger each time you reinforce it with presence and care. The nickname becomes more than a word. It becomes a sacred symbol of the unbreakable bond you are creating. This is how obsession begins. Not with empty labels, but with authentic, powerful connection that transforms her entire emotional landscape.
There is an undeniable force in mystery that captures the imagination and fuels desire like nothing else.
When a man embodies the essence of the enigmatic flame, he becomes a living paradox, fiery yet elusive, intense yet unreadable. This complexity stirs a woman's mind in ways simple clarity never can. She is drawn to the unknown, compelled to explore the depths of your character, to uncover the layers beneath your surface. Mystery activates her brain's reward centers, releasing dopamine that keeps her craving more, chasing the feeling of discovery and anticipation. This craving is the spark that ignites obsession because it taps into the primal thrill of the chase, combined with the comfort of connection. To wield the power of this forbidden nickname, you must embrace your own complexity and depth without fear or apology. Mystery isn't about playing games or withholding affection. It is about cultivating a rich inner world that is not fully exposed at once. It means having passions, opinions, and experiences that shape you, but revealing them in measured ways that invite curiosity instead of overwhelming. When your words align with this energy, your nickname becomes a symbol of fire, an invitation for her to keep returning, to keep wanting to know more, to keep feeling alive in your presence. There is a delicate balance between being present and being elusive. Too much presence and the flame burns out, becoming predictable. Too much elusiveness and the connection feels cold or distant. The power lies in weaving the two into a dance that keeps her emotionally engaged and hungry for your attention. This dynamic fuels emotional highs and lows, the kind that make her heart race and her thoughts spiral toward obsession. It is in these moments of uncertainty mixed with intense connection that she begins to see you not just as a man, but as a force she cannot forget. The enigmatic flame challenges you to step beyond surface-level interactions and into a deeper zone of emotional intelligence. It requires you to be comfortable with silence, to communicate volumes without speaking, and to let your presence alone stir questions in her mind. This quality is magnetic because it aligns with the human need for depth and significance in relationships. When she senses that you hold parts of yourself close, it signals value and complexity, qualities that tap directly into her desire for meaningful connection. This nickname is a reflection of your willingness to be different, to resist the pressure to be fully understood or predictable. It is an invitation for her to embark on a journey with you, where every interaction holds potential for revelation and growth. This kind of emotional richness cultivates loyalty and fascination, because it creates a bond that is alive, ever-changing, and impossible to replicate. She doesn't just want to be with you. She wants to understand you, to unravel the mystery that you represent. Owning the enigmatic flame means embracing your shadows and your light with equal courage. It means cultivating a presence that is powerful yet subtle, fierce yet tender. When you embody this, the nickname becomes more than a word. It becomes a living symbol of the magnetic pull you exert. This pull is not about manipulation. It is about authenticity wrapped in intrigue. It stirs the deep human need for connection, layered with excitement and depth. This is how desire transforms into obsession, when the flame you carry inside her mind and heart burns bright, constant, and unforgettable. There is a profound strength in the power of unspoken promises, a silent language that speaks louder than words ever could. When you use a nickname that embodies this unspoken commitment, you tap into the deep emotional currents flowing beneath conscious thought. This name carries weight not because it spells out your intentions, but because it suggests them, leaving room for imagination and anticipation to fill the space. It creates a tension that ignites desire and deepens attachment because the mind craves what is hinted at but not fully revealed. The unspoken promise becomes a powerful magnet, pulling her toward you with a force born from mystery and trust combined. To use this nickname effectively, you must first understand the subtle power of anticipation. Desire is often strongest before fulfillment. It grows in the space where certainty has yet to settle. When a nickname whispers of potential and commitment without stating it outright, it invites her to dream, to hope, to invest emotionally in what could be. This emotional investment is a cornerstone of obsession, because the more she imagines a future with you, the more her mind ties her happiness to your presence. The nickname becomes a symbol of that future, something fragile, precious, and worth protecting. There is a delicate art to balancing what is said and what is left unsaid. The unspoken promise invites her to participate actively in your connection. She becomes a co-creator of the relationship's meaning, interpreting your words and actions through the lens of that nickname. This engagement deepens emotional bonds and heightens her sense of exclusivity with you. When she feels that she holds a special key to your world, her attachment strengthens and obsession takes root. Using this nickname demands authenticity and patience. You cannot claim an unspoken promise lightly or without intention. It requires that you show up consistently with integrity and respect, allowing your actions to speak as loudly as your words. This alignment builds trust and transforms the nickname from a mere label into a living symbol of your bond. When she experiences this consistency, her subconscious mind links the nickname to feelings of safety, hope, and desire, weaving it into the fabric of her emotional world. The unspoken promise nickname also holds a subtle power over time. It doesn't seek immediate gratification, but fosters a slow-burning connection that grows stronger with each interaction. This slow build creates emotional depth that many overlook in the rush for instant connection. Yet it is this depth that sustains obsession because it roots desire in something enduring and meaningful rather than fleeting excitement. To embody the energy behind this nickname, you must cultivate presence and intention in your relationship. Every moment becomes an opportunity to reinforce the silent contract you share. Your quiet confidence and reliability become the foundation on which her longing is built. This is how you create emotional security wrapped in anticipation, a paradox that keeps her heart tethered to yours, even in moments of distance. The unspoken promise is a testament to your willingness to hold space for something greater than immediate pleasure. It is a commitment to nurturing desire through trust, respect, and quiet strength. When you own this, your nickname transforms into a sacred symbol of connection, a beacon that calls her back to you again and again. This is the essence of obsession, a deep emotional bond forged in the space between words, grounded in promise and fueled by genuine connection. There is a rare and captivating power in embodying both strength and tenderness, a paradox that creates an irresistible tension no woman can ignore. When you become the gentle storm, you show that true power isn't loud or reckless, but balanced and nuanced. This nickname reflects a man who can be fierce in his protection and steady in his calm, a man who carries storms within, but chooses when and how to unleash them. This complexity stirs deep emotional responses because it mirrors the natural rhythms of life. Moments of chaos and calm, intensity and peace, fire and water. She feels drawn to this dynamic because it promises a relationship alive with emotional depth and authenticity. To live into the essence of the gentle storm, you must cultivate emotional range and presence. It's not enough to be strong, you must also be vulnerable. Not weakness, but the courage to show your full humanity, the parts that roar and the parts that soothe. This balance creates a magnetic energy because it signals that you are real, not a mask or a facade. When a nickname captures this duality, it becomes a symbol of safety, wrapped in excitement, reliability fused with passion. It promises that she can depend on you in storms and dance with you in the calm that follows. The gentle storm breaks the pattern of predictable relationships where men are either distant or overbearing, cold or volatile. It introduces a new paradigm, one where emotional honesty meets strength, where tenderness is a weapon as powerful as resolve. This duality activates psychological triggers of attachment and desire because it meets a woman's needs for security and exhilaration simultaneously. She doesn't have to choose between feeling safe and feeling alive. With you, she can have both. This creates a potent emotional bond that anchors her attention and deepens her investment in your connection. This nickname demands more than words. It calls for embodied truth. You must show up as the man who can navigate emotional complexity without losing himself. This requires self-awareness, discipline, and the willingness to confront your own shadows. When your actions align with the energy behind the gentle storm, the nickname becomes a living promise, a signal that you are a man of depth and dimension. This alignment strengthens her subconscious association between your name and feelings of fascination, safety, and desire, forging a bond that grows stronger over time. Understanding the power of the gentle storm invites you to embrace your full emotional spectrum. It challenges you to resist the urge to simplify or suppress parts of yourself for comfort or approval. Instead, you learn to harness your emotions as a source of connection and attraction. This shift transforms how she perceives you, elevating you from just another man to an unforgettable force in her life. When you embody this paradox, the nickname you give becomes a secret code, a reminder of the unique connection you share. It resonates with the complexity of your relationship, stirring emotions that are raw, real, and profound. She feels it deep within her, the pull of a bond that promises both protection and passion. This is how obsession is born, through the steady interplay of strength and softness, the gentle storm that rages quietly but leaves an indelible mark on her heart. There is a rare intimacy found in whispered words, those soft, private moments where a name becomes a sacred symbol shared only between two souls. The irreplaceable whisper carries a weight far beyond its quiet sound. It speaks of exclusivity, vulnerability, and deep emotional connection. When you give a woman a nickname that feels like a secret between just the two of you, you create a space where she feels uniquely seen and cherished. This sense of being irreplaceable is a powerful psychological trigger, tapping into her core need for belonging and significance. It makes her feel like she holds a special place in your world that no one else can enter. The power of the irreplaceable whisper lies in its ability to forge a private universe, a sanctuary of trust and emotional safety. In this universe, your words become bridges connecting your hearts in ways that transcend ordinary communication. The whisper is not meant for the outside world. It's a sacred bond that deepens emotional intimacy every time it's spoken. This exclusivity stokes the fires of obsession because it awakens her desire to protect and nurture the relationship that holds this precious secret. She feels connected on a level that is both intensely personal and profoundly meaningful, and that feeling fuels her attachment. To embody the energy behind this nickname, you must cultivate presence and genuine vulnerability. The whisper is not just about the name itself, but the intention and emotion that breathe life into it. When you speak softly and sincerely, with eyes that communicate trust and care, the nickname becomes a living symbol of your bond. This transforms ordinary interaction into ritual, moments she will remember and revisit in her mind long after you're gone. It is in these quiet exchanges that obsession quietly takes root, growing steadily as the emotional significance of the nickname embeds itself deeper within her heart. The irreplaceable whisper demands patience and consistency. It can't be forced or rushed, nor can it be diluted by careless use. Each time you offer this private name, you reaffirm her importance and your commitment to the connection you share. This repetition builds a neural pathway in her brain that associates your presence with feelings of safety, exclusivity, and profound affection. These emotional imprints become anchors, holding her thoughts and feelings tethered to you in moments of doubt or distance. The power of the whisper is in its subtlety. It creates obsession through quiet depth rather than loud declarations. This nickname also calls you to embrace emotional intimacy without fear. It challenges you to be open and authentic in moments that matter most, allowing your vulnerability to become a source of strength. When you accept this challenge, you become more than a partner, you become a sanctuary. She learns to trust you with her fears, hopes, and dreams because your whispered name promises safety and understanding. This promise becomes a refuge from the world's chaos, a place where her heart feels at home. The irreplaceable whisper is a testament to the power of connection born from shared secrets and mutual respect. It reminds her that she is not just one among many, but the only one for you. This feeling of irreplaceability sparks a profound obsession because it fulfills a deep human need to be known, treasured, and held in a sacred space reserved for love that is genuine and enduring. Choosing the right nickname is not a casual act. It is a deliberate expression of understanding, empathy, and connection. Every woman carries a unique emotional landscape shaped by her fears, desires, and experiences. To make a nickname truly powerful, you must tune into her inner world with intention and care. This is not about guessing or applying a generic label. It's about crafting a name that resonates deeply with who she is beneath the surface. When a nickname reflects her true essence, it speaks to her soul and makes her feel profoundly seen. This level of recognition fuels emotional attachment and ignites obsession because it satisfies the fundamental human craving to be understood and valued without conditions. Emotional personalization requires awareness, listening beyond words, observing subtle cues, and sensing the emotions that lie beneath. When you notice what lights her up, what vulnerabilities she shields, and what dreams she nurtures quietly, You gain insight into the perfect language to call her by. This language becomes a mirror reflecting her worth back to her in ways she may have never heard before. The right nickname can validate her strengths, soothe her insecurities, and awaken her deepest desires. It transforms mere words into emotional lifelines that tether her heart to yours with increasing intensity. To master this, you must be present and attentive in every interaction. Your focus shifts from superficial charm to genuine connection. This shift allows you to discover the hidden facets of her personality that crave recognition. A nickname born from this place is not only meaningful but authentic, a bridge that invites her to lower walls and deepen trust. As she feels seen and valued on a deeper level, her mind and heart begin to link you with feelings of acceptance and safety. These associations create a psychological environment where obsession can thrive naturally, without force or manipulation. Understanding her emotional needs also means respecting her boundaries and timing. A nickname feels powerful when it arrives at the right moment, after trust has been nurtured and connection solidified. Premature or careless use risks alienation or confusion, while thoughtful, well-timed use strengthens emotional bonds. This requires patience and emotional intelligence, qualities that separate the men who inspire obsession from those who only pass through her life briefly. When you honor her pace and emotional rhythm, the nickname becomes a symbol of respect and attentiveness, deepening her investment in you. The personalization of nicknames also invites you to grow alongside her, adapting the language of your connection as she evolves. This dynamic quality keeps your relationship alive and responsive to changing emotions and circumstances. It signals that you are not static but engaged, willing to meet her where she is and journey with her through transformation. This ongoing attunement creates an emotional resonance that draws her closer and fosters an obsession rooted in deep emotional intimacy and growth. Choosing the right nickname is more than a game of words. It is an act of emotional leadership. It demands empathy, patience, and courage to see her fully and respond with authenticity. When you do, the nickname becomes a powerful tool to build a bond that captivates her mind and heart. It is the foundation of obsession, a personalized connection that makes her feel uniquely loved, cherished, and unable to let go. Timing is everything when it comes to the power of words. A nickname spoken without awareness is just noise, but when delivered with precision and intention, it becomes an emotional beacon that cuts through distractions and reaches the heart. The moment you choose to say a forbidden nickname holds as much weight as the word itself. It can transform a fleeting interaction into a moment etched into memory, a pulse that quickens her breath and tightens the threads of your connection. This is the art of timing, knowing when silence has built anticipation enough, when vulnerability invites a gentle touch of familiarity, and when the world fades so only your voice remains. Timing is not accidental. It requires you to be deeply attuned to her emotional state, to read the unspoken signals that reveal when she is open, receptive, and longing for connection. When you sense that openness, the nickname becomes more than a word. It becomes a spark that lights the flame of obsession. Saying the right word at the right moment triggers a rush of oxytocin and dopamine in her brain, chemicals that reinforce trust, attachment, and desire. These neurochemical responses are the foundation of emotional bonds that deepen into fixation. Mastering timing means you don't just communicate, you orchestrate emotional experiences that keep her coming back, hungry for more. Every interaction becomes a delicate dance of presence and patience. You learn to wait for the moments charged with unspoken meaning, to let silence stretch just enough to make your words feel like gifts. This patience shows emotional intelligence and respect for her inner world, qualities that elevate your presence beyond the ordinary. When your nickname falls like a soft whisper into these moments, it resonates with a power that makes her heart ache in the best way possible. It's no longer just about affection. It's about creating emotional peaks that her mind can't forget. Timing also means knowing when to hold back. Overusing a nickname, especially one that carries forbidden energy, risks diluting its impact. It becomes ordinary, loses its mystery, and ceases to evoke the emotional surge it once did. This is where restraint becomes a strength. By reserving these names for moments of true connection, you maintain their sacredness. This scarcity fuels desire because it builds anticipation. Every time she hears the nickname, it feels like a secret that only she shares, intensifying the emotional bond and planting seeds of obsession that grow stronger with each carefully timed utterance. Mastering timing is an act of emotional leadership. It signals that you are not driven by impulse or neediness, but by clarity, and presence. This steadiness makes you magnetic because it contrasts sharply with the chaos of the world. You become a man who commands attention not through force, but through the power of emotional precision. She senses this, and it awakens a deep longing, a craving not just for your words, but for the feeling of being truly known and valued. This mastery transforms the way you use forbidden nicknames. They shift from being mere words to becoming emotional touchstones, anchors that root her in your presence even when you're apart. Each utterance becomes a promise, a spark, and a reminder of the unique connection you share. When you align timing with intention, you create a bond that feels electric, irresistible, and impossible to break. True connection is built on authenticity, a raw, unfiltered presence that speaks louder than any nickname ever could. A forbidden name only holds power when it is grounded in your genuine self, when your emotions align with your words and your actions back them up. Without this foundation, nicknames become hollow labels, easily forgotten and devoid of meaning. To truly make a woman obsessed with you, you must first commit to being real in every moment. Authenticity breaks through defenses, bypasses doubt, and invites her to meet you at the deepest level of her soul. When you embody authenticity, your forbidden nicknames take on a new dimension. They no longer feel like mere words, but become living expressions of your true feelings. This depth transforms simple names into symbols of trust, respect, and profound emotional intimacy. She senses your sincerity even when you are silent, because your entire being communicates it. This creates an emotional resonance that captivates her mind and heart simultaneously, forging a connection that goes beyond surface attraction and dives into the core of human longing. Authenticity also demands vulnerability, the courage to reveal your imperfections, fears, and desires openly. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you show her that you are not hiding behind masks or illusions. This openness encourages her to lower her own walls, deepening the emotional exchange between you. Vulnerability combined with forbidden nicknames becomes a powerful catalyst for obsession because it signals a rare emotional availability. She feels invited into a private world where she is accepted fully, flaws and all, and this sense of acceptance binds her to you with invisible threads. To cultivate this level of authenticity, you must first be honest with yourself about who you are and what you want. Self-awareness is the foundation for emotional clarity, enabling you to communicate with integrity and confidence. When your words reflect your inner truth, they carry undeniable weight. The forbidden nickname then becomes a sacred vessel carrying your genuine intentions and feelings. This alignment fosters trust and deep emotional security, key ingredients for creating lasting obsession. Authenticity also manifests in consistency. It is not enough to speak words once. You must embody the energy behind them repeatedly. Each time you use a forbidden nickname with sincere emotion, you reinforce the emotional bridge between you and her. This repetition builds neurological patterns in her brain associated with comfort, desire, and attachment. Over time, these patterns solidify into an emotional habit, a mental loop where thoughts of you arise naturally and persistently. When authenticity guides your use of forbidden nicknames, the connection you build is both intense and enduring. She is drawn to you not because of superficial charm or fleeting attraction, but because you represent a rare truth, someone willing to be real, vulnerable, and present. This truth becomes a beacon in her emotional landscape, lighting a path that leads to deep obsession. It is here, in the intersection of genuine feeling and intentional language, that you unlock the secret to making a woman truly obsessed with you. Obsession is not born from grand gestures or empty words. It is cultivated in the subtle spaces where consistent presence meets deep emotional understanding. The way you use forbidden nicknames must be woven into a broader pattern of connection, one marked by attentiveness, empathy, and unwavering respect. When she feels truly seen and valued, her mind begins to build intricate associations between your presence and feelings of worthiness, safety, and desire. These associations create a psychological web so strong that her thoughts naturally orbit around you, drawn by the gravitational pull of genuine connection. Every word you choose, especially a nickname charged with forbidden energy, acts as a thread weaving together the fabric of your relationship. The emotional texture created by these threads determines whether attraction remains shallow or deepens into obsession. When your words resonate with her deepest needs and desires, they ignite neural pathways tied to pleasure, trust, and attachment. This process is subtle but powerful. Her brain begins to anticipate the emotional reward your presence and words bring, reinforcing the cycle of longing and connection. This is why the intentional use of nicknames can transform ordinary interactions into emotional milestones. To maintain this momentum, you must cultivate emotional attunement, the ability to tune into her feelings and respond with sensitivity and care. Emotional attunement is the silent language of relationships, a dance of empathy and responsiveness that builds trust and intimacy. When you attune to her emotional rhythms, your forbidden nicknames become keys that unlock new layers of connection. They signal that you understand her uniquely, that your bond is not generic but tailored to her essence. This personalization deepens her investment in you and intensifies her emotional response. Consistency is the backbone of obsession. Sporadic moments of attention or affection do not build lasting bonds. They create uncertainty and doubt. When you consistently engage with her emotions, using forbidden nicknames thoughtfully and meaningfully, you cultivate a sense of reliability and predictability she can lean on. This emotional stability paradoxically fuels desire because it creates a safe container in which passion can grow without fear of loss or rejection. The nickname becomes a touchstone, a reminder of the steady presence you offer amid life's chaos. The power of forbidden nicknames also lies in their ability to evoke imagination. They become symbols charged with emotional meaning, inviting her to envision a future where your connection deepens and flourishes. This mental imagery engages her subconscious mind where desire and attachment take root. By invoking images of intimacy, protection, and exclusivity through your words, you encourage her to invest emotionally not just in the present moment, but in the possibilities ahead. This forward-looking perspective sustains obsession over time. Ultimately, the secret to making a woman obsessed with you through forbidden nicknames is not in manipulation, but in mastery, the mastery of emotional connection, timing, authenticity, and presence. When these elements align, your words become more than sounds, they become powerful instruments of transformation. She is drawn to you not just for who you appear to be, but for the emotional experience you create. A connection so profound that it leaves an indelible mark on her heart and mind. This is the essence of true obsession. A bond forged in depth, fueled by intention, and sustained through genuine human connection. Connection is the invisible thread that weaves two lives into one shared experience. The forbidden nicknames you choose become more than words. They evolve into symbols of that connection, anchors that hold her heart tethered to yours even when you're apart. The depth of this connection determines the strength of her attachment and ultimately her obsession. When she senses that your bond is unique, rare, and irreplaceable, her mind registers this as something worth protecting, cherishing, and thinking about constantly. This recognition awakens a powerful psychological drive rooted in the need for belonging and significance. To deepen this connection, you must move beyond surface-level interactions and cultivate emotional presence. This means being fully engaged in every moment you share, listening not just to words, but to the feelings behind them. It means responding with empathy, validation, and genuine interest. When your presence is unwavering and your attention sincere, you communicate that she matters deeply to you. This emotional availability is magnetic because it fulfills a primal human desire to be seen and understood at the core of one's being. The forbidden nickname then acts as a vessel carrying the weight of this availability, turning simple language into a profound emotional exchange. There is an undeniable power in shared rituals and secret languages, elements that make a relationship feel exclusive and intimate. Forbidden nicknames serve as a private code that distinguishes your connection from all others. This exclusivity triggers psychological mechanisms associated with scarcity and uniqueness, heightening her emotional investment. She begins to associate the nickname not just with you, but with the special world you create together, a world where she is valued beyond measure. This sense of exclusivity fosters obsession because it satisfies the innate need to belong to something greater than oneself. Consistency in using these nicknames with intention reinforces the emotional bond over time. Each utterance becomes a reminder of your connection's depth and the unique role you play in her life. This repetition strengthens neural pathways linked to attachment and desire, making thoughts of you more automatic and persistent. The nickname acts as a mental trigger, evoking feelings of safety, passion, and belonging whenever she hears or remembers it. This psychological conditioning deepens her fixation, anchoring her emotionally to you in a way that feels natural and unforced. Beyond words, your energy must align with the emotional significance of the nickname. Authenticity in your feelings, confidence in your presence, and respect for her boundaries create a fertile ground where obsession can flourish. When she perceives that your words are backed by genuine emotion and consistent action, her trust and admiration grow. This trust transforms the nickname from a simple label into a sacred symbol of your unique bond. It becomes a beacon in her emotional landscape, drawing her back to you again and again. In essence, the forbidden nickname is a tool not of control or manipulation, but of emotional connection and transformation. When used with intention and authenticity, it cultivates a relationship that goes beyond attraction and infatuation, entering the realm of deep emotional obsession. It is a symbol of the extraordinary connection you forge, a connection that touches her mind, heart, and soul, leaving an imprint so powerful it cannot be erased. This is how you move from being just a man she knows to the man she cannot stop thinking about. There is an extraordinary power in subtlety, the ability to communicate profound meaning through the quietest gestures and the softest words. Forbidden nicknames wield this subtlety like a finely tuned instrument, sending ripples through her emotional world that resonate long after they are spoken. These names are not loud declarations. They are whispered promises, secret codes that speak directly to her heart's deepest desires. When you master this subtlety, your connection shifts from ordinary to extraordinary, sparking an obsession born from the delicate interplay of mystery, trust, and emotional intimacy. Subtlety requires emotional intelligence, a deep sensitivity to the nuances of her feelings and the rhythms of your interaction. It means knowing when to speak and when to hold back, when to offer warmth and when to cultivate intrigue. This awareness transforms your use of forbidden nicknames into a powerful language of connection that goes beyond words. She senses the layers beneath each syllable, feeling valued and cherished in a way that words alone cannot express. This kind of emotional precision ignites a neurochemical cascade in her brain, triggering dopamine and oxytocin release that forge stronger bonds and heighten attraction. The beauty of subtlety lies in its ability to create emotional peaks without overwhelming the senses. It invites her into a dance of closeness and distance, safety and excitement, comfort and longing. Each forbidden nickname becomes a step in this dance, a gentle pull that draws her closer while leaving room for desire to build. This tension keeps her emotionally engaged and mentally fixated on you. It transforms your presence into an irresistible force that she craves and seeks out instinctively. Subtlety also cultivates patience and restraint, qualities that enhance the potency of your connection. Overuse or bluntness diminishes the impact of a nickname, making it feel ordinary or insincere. When you practice restraint, reserving these names for moments charged with genuine emotion and connection, you preserve their sacredness. This scarcity amplifies desire, turning each utterance into a precious gift that deepens her emotional investment. She learns to anticipate your words, attaching meaning and significance to every sound you share. This mastery of subtlety reflects your respect for her emotional world and your commitment to authentic connection. It shows that you value depth over superficiality and intimacy over convenience. When she senses this, her trust and admiration grow exponentially. The forbidden nickname then becomes more than a label. It transforms into a symbol of the unique, sacred bond you share. It anchors her thoughts and emotions, creating a mental landscape where your presence is both comforting and electrifying. Ultimately, subtlety is the language of true emotional power. It requires confidence, awareness, and a willingness to be present without overwhelming. When you wield this power with intention and care, you cultivate a relationship that transcends fleeting attraction, creating an obsession rooted in deep emotional resonance. This is how you move beyond being just a name in her life, becoming the unforgettable force that shapes her thoughts, stirs her emotions, and occupies her heart. The essence of irresistible attraction lies not in grandiosity, but in the mastery of subtle emotional cues that speak directly to the soul. Forbidden nicknames are more than words. They are keys unlocking hidden chambers of vulnerability and desire. When spoken with intention and infused with emotional authenticity, they bypass the mind's defenses and resonate deep within her subconscious. This resonance creates an emotional imprint so profound that it lingers long after the moment has passed, shaping her thoughts and feelings in ways that drive obsession. You become not just a man she knows, but the man whose presence awakens something vital and unforgettable inside her. Harnessing this power demands a heightened sensitivity to emotional energy, the ability to read the unspoken language of her eyes, her tone, and her subtle body movements. This sensitivity allows you to choose the perfect moment to use a forbidden nickname, ensuring it lands like a gentle but powerful vibration in the core of her being. It's in these carefully chosen moments that your words carry the most weight, creating emotional peaks that intensify her connection to you. This is not about manipulation, but about meeting her where she truly is, emotionally open, receptive, and yearning for connection. The psychological effect of these nicknames is amplified by their rarity and exclusivity. They become sacred tokens of your unique bond, reserved only for moments of true intimacy. This exclusivity triggers a potent mix of scarcity and desire in her mind, fueling a craving that grows stronger with each whispered syllable. She learns that these names are not thrown around lightly, but are symbols of something deeper, a connection that few get to experience. This sense of privilege heightens her emotional investment, making her more attentive, more engaged, and more obsessed. Your presence, when aligned with the meaning behind these nicknames, becomes magnetic. Authenticity, confidence, and emotional availability act as a powerful trio that deepens her trust and admiration. She senses that you are not playing games or hiding behind masks. Instead, you reveal yourself fully, inviting her to do the same. This mutual vulnerability forms a foundation where obsession can thrive, grounded not in insecurity, but in genuine connection and emotional safety. Every utterance of a forbidden nickname becomes a moment of emotional reinforcement, a reminder of the bond you share and the unique place she holds in your heart. These moments accumulate, layering emotional intensity upon intensity, until her mind and body are wired to respond to you automatically. This neurological conditioning is the core of obsession. It turns simple words into emotional triggers that keep her thoughts centered on you, even when you are apart. In mastering this dynamic, you wield a subtle but unstoppable force. You shift from being one option among many to becoming the essential figure in her emotional landscape. The forbidden nickname is your tool, a way to etch your presence into her subconscious, stir her emotions, and deepen her desire. When used with respect, timing, and authenticity, it transforms your connection into an unbreakable bond, making her obsession not a choice, but a natural outcome of the powerful emotional world you create together. The true power of forbidden nicknames lies in their ability to create emotional exclusivity, a sacred space where only the two of you exist. This exclusivity feeds a primal human desire to belong to something rare and precious. When you speak a forbidden nickname, you signal that she is not just another face in the crowd, but the one who holds a unique, irreplaceable place in your heart. This message resonates deeply, stirring a longing within her to protect and nurture this rare connection. It fuels obsession because it satisfies a core psychological need to feel chosen and valued above all others. Exclusivity is not about possession. It is about emotional prioritization. It requires that you show her through your words and actions that she occupies a distinct emotional territory in your life. The forbidden nickname becomes a symbol of this prioritization, a verbal emblem of her importance and your commitment. This symbolism creates a mental shortcut in her brain, linking you to feelings of safety, acceptance, and desire. These feelings, repeated consistently, build neural pathways that make her think of you automatically, even in your absence. To harness exclusivity effectively, you must embody it fully. Your presence must reflect the depth of the connection your nickname represents. This means acting with integrity, respect, and unwavering attention. When she senses that your words are backed by genuine emotion and consistent behavior, her trust grows. Trust is the foundation upon which obsession is built. Without it, no amount of carefully chosen nicknames will create lasting emotional attachment. Your authenticity transforms a simple name into a powerful emblem of your unique bond. Exclusivity also thrives on the delicate balance of intimacy and mystery. The forbidden nickname should reveal enough to deepen connection, but maintain just enough mystery to keep her intrigued. This balance sparks curiosity and anticipation, emotional states that enhance attraction and fixation. She is drawn not only to what she knows about you, but to the promise of what she has yet to discover. The nickname becomes a tantalizing hint of a deeper world you share, one that invites exploration and emotional investment. Maintaining this balance requires emotional intelligence and self-control. Overexposure risks normalizing the nickname, stripping it of its special meaning. Underuse risks creating distance and confusion, The key is thoughtful, intentional use, reserving the nickname for moments of genuine connection and vulnerability. This restraint amplifies its emotional impact, transforming each utterance into a meaningful event that reinforces exclusivity and attachment. Ultimately, exclusivity through forbidden nicknames is a dynamic process. It demands continuous attention to the evolving emotional landscape between you. As your relationship deepens, the meaning behind your chosen names grows richer and more layered. This evolution keeps the connection alive, preventing stagnation and sustaining obsession. When you master this art, your nickname becomes not just a word, but a living symbol of a rare and powerful emotional bond, one that captivates her mind, ignites her passion, and roots her heart firmly in your presence. Obsession is fueled by anticipation, the electric charge that surges through the moments before connection deepens. Forbidden nicknames become the sparks that ignite this anticipation, carefully placed like secret keys that unlock heightened emotional states. Each utterance carries a promise of intimacy, a signal that something rare and meaningful is unfolding between you. This anticipation creates a powerful psychological pull, drawing her closer and compelling her to seek the next moment where your words will touch her again. It is a dance of desire and restraint, one that keeps her emotionally engaged and mentally fixated on you. The secret to cultivating anticipation lies in the deliberate pacing of your interactions. You must learn to balance presence with absence, closeness with distance, warmth with mystery. Forbidden nicknames spoken too frequently lose their power, becoming ordinary sounds stripped of emotional charge. When used sparingly and with intention, however, they become emotional milestones, markers of moments charged with significance. This selective use heightens her sensitivity, making her more attuned to your words and more eager to experience the emotional high they bring. The resulting anticipation feeds her obsession by activating brain pathways linked to reward and desire. Anticipation also thrives on unpredictability. Predictable patterns, dull emotional response, while subtle variations in timing and tone create intrigue and excitement. When she cannot easily anticipate when or how you will use your forbidden nicknames, her mind stays alert and engaged, craving the next emotional peak you provide. This psychological tension heightens her emotional involvement, transforming your connection into a source of thrilling uncertainty and deep satisfaction. You become not just a partner, but a captivating mystery she is compelled to explore. Maintaining anticipation requires emotional mindfulness and self-restraint. It demands that you stay present to the flow of your relationship, sensing when her emotional needs shift and responding accordingly. This responsiveness strengthens trust, showing that your connection is dynamic and attuned rather than mechanical or rehearsed. The forbidden nickname then becomes a living language, adapting to the evolving rhythms of your bond and keeping her emotionally invested in the journey you share. Anticipation also opens the door to deeper vulnerability. As the emotional tension builds, she becomes more willing to lower her defenses, opening herself to connection on a profound level.